He's a Liverpool fan and Michael Owen's his hero, so I've got to have him in there.
I can't have the front three as Liverpool, man. I'll get killed on Twitter and that. I mean, we'll go 4-3-3 because it's just the easiest thing. So
we're never going to agree on the keeper, are we? Like, as a starting base, we're not going to agree on the keeper.
Let's just... He's better on the ball than Alisson. I mean, look what Alisson did. Was it this year or last year in the game against Liverpool where Alisson gave a goal away? You know, he melted. He melted in one of the biggest games of the season. He melted, you know what I mean? Ederson doesn't melt, mate. Ederson is by far the best goalkeeper. In my opinion, he's the best goalkeeper in the world.
Doesn't score goals though.
He don't need to, he's assisting, mate. He's assisting the goals, you know what I mean? You know.
Ederson is more prone to like lapse in concentration, I suppose, and it's because of his style. His style is so high wire. It's like if you fall, then you fall, and it looks catastrophic. But he's so quick off his line. You know, you think about the Mane and Ederson incident from a few years ago, and obviously Mane is the same and goes steaming into everything and doesn't give up on anything. But that's what Ederson is. He's so front foot, and sometimes that can cost you. And I think Alisson isn't that. You mentioned he might not be as good on the ball, but I think as an out-and-out goalkeeper, I'd have him over Ederson.
Well, no, I disagree. I think if you took Alisson out of your team and put Ederson, you wouldn't see a difference.
There's times where that great defence of Liverpool's gets breached, and then he is that last line defence. He's there to make a crucial last-ditch save, and I think that's where I don't think Ederson can deliver that as much as Alisson can.
Well, like I say, we're not going to agree. How about we go 50-50 and we take Scott Carson? You know what I mean? Scott Carson, one of the goats of the game. You know, because we're never going to agree, mate. Let's move on to right back. This is going to be interesting. I think we're going to struggle to agree on this one. Trent's obviously a great player. He's still quite young. I just think that Kyle Walker, he can do a bit of everything, you know what I mean? He can defend, he can drop into a sort of three at the back if you need to do that. You want to adapt the tactics. He can bomb forward, obviously. Everyone knows about his speed. We don't have to mention that. I just think I'd rather have his experience over Trent.
I'm gonna take your own words there and sort of flip this on you, because I think what Kyle Walker has become is, I don't know if one-dimensional is harsh, but he's become a proper defender. He's become a third centre-back in England in a City team, and he's become exactly what he needs to be for City, which is defensively solid. But one of the things that he doesn't give you is everything going forward, which you've got one of the best playmakers in the world there playing right back for Liverpool, and he's a 23-year-old lad from West Derby. It's absolutely like unreal the things that Trent Alexander-Arnold is doing on the football pitch, and these lazy narratives that have been around for ages about Trent can't defend. Like he's shown it against City in the past against Sané when people were expecting Sané to tear him apart, and he dealt with it well. He's doing it all this season. Like he's been so defensively solid this season. I think he's constantly adding more and more dimensions to his game. He's constantly making Liverpool a better team, and as I say, he is one of the best playmakers in the world, and he's just kicking around at right back for us.
Is that what you're saying? I mean, do we really want Trent in the team just because he can put? I mean, where are your attacking players?
Do you want big moments in the back end of the season?
I want the forward players to deliver the big moments.
Do you want a comeback against Barcelona in the Champions League semi-final where he sets up the
well, what I'm saying, we'll have other players to do that. Why is your right back taking corners?
All the rest of our lads can as well.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to struggle on this one. Are you going to give it me?
No.
I can't give it you either, mate. I can't. So we're just going to have to move on to the centre backs.
It's Diaz and Van Dijk, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And obviously we had the conversation about them too. And Joe Gomez, he struggled and that with injuries, but he's not kicked on for whatever reason. And obviously from our side, John Stones on the port, love them both. I think that with the Van Dijk being able to ping balls around, as you mentioned before, that would give a fair balance to that centre-back pairing, and I think we could agree on that. Shake hands. We'll agree on that.
I've got a deal for you to negotiate as well.
Oh, you got some deals?
So I'm prepared to give you Cancelo if you go back and give me Trent.
Yeah, all right then. I'll shake on that one as well. So yeah, centre mid. For me, I think Rodri's come in, and he come in at a fairly reasonable price tag at 64 million, something like that. One of the reasons why he's managed to play at the highest level for so long because of his brain, you know what I mean, and he's so good at reading the game. He controls the play, he dictates and he links up very, very well with the forward players, you know what I mean. So I think for me, and he can put a tackle in as well. I mean, he's good in the air.
For me, it's Fabinho, and I think if you look at Liverpool's title win the other season, there's probably not a bigger moment you can pick from than him pinging it in against City at Anfield. He's got that to his game. He's got penalties to his game. He's younger than most people think. He's completely sort of, I mentioned about Van Dijk revolutionising the centre half position for Liverpool. He's revolutionised Liverpool's sort of centre mid position, and the addition of him as well as Alisson and Van Dijk, has really sort of solidified that spine. And I think that's why you have seen Liverpool have so much success, and if he's popping up with a goal occasionally, then that for me gives him the edge on Rodri.
Right. I'm prepared to accept the L on this one, right? And we'll put Fabinho in there, but I'm expecting some nice deals from you going forward, right? So just remember that. Right? So obviously two players now we've got to try and create for our forward line, which is obviously going to be immense. I think we've got Kevin De Bruyne, who I'm guessing you accept has to be in there. Just a fantastic football player, and this guy's delivered. You know what I mean? He's delivered on the big stage. He's delivered in the Champions League knockout rounds. He's delivered in the Premier League. You know what I mean? And so much talent. It's a pleasure to watch him.
He's a Liverpool fan, and Michael Owen's his hero, so I've got to have him in there.
Next up, then, who goes next to him? I mean, you're probably going to throw Thiago in there, are you?
Him and Fabinho went on a run of about 16 games up unbeaten while they were playing together, but the issue was getting them on the pitch together effectively, and that's probably one of the things that Thiago has really sort of suffered from is just a bit of bad luck with injuries, because when he's on the pitch he's everything you expected him to be. Coming from Bayern Munich and more, he shows all of that class. There's obviously Jordan Henderson, who is Liverpool's sort of leader in every sense. He's still in our strongest 11, I'd say. I'll give you Gundogan. Purely in terms of availability, if we're imagining this team is going to have to play the rest of the season from now on, we've got to patch the two together, I'm giving you Gundogan.
Gundogan's a good shout, you know what I mean? And that's a sensible shout, yeah, but I think I have to put Bernardo Silva in there. He's such a brilliant player. He'll work around, and you know what I mean, and he'll give the freedom for Kevin De Bruyne and the front three to do what they want, because he can come back and sit next to Fabinho if Fabinho's getting having a bit of a bad time. He can do that. As could Gundogan, but I just think Bernardo Silva, mate.
If you're going to have Bernardo Silva in your midfield over Gundogan, I was going to put Bernardo Silva in my front line, but if you're going to go Bernardo Silva in midfield, I'm going the whole Liverpool front line, just to pre-warn you on that.
So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to rewind, yeah. I'm going to put Gundogan in the midfield, and I'm going to put Bernardo Silva up top.
So I'll take Jota out then, and I'll have Mane and Salah.
Right, okay, yeah, because I can't have the front three. It's Liverpool, man. I'll get killed on Twitter and that. So now I think Salah's he's just grown into. I mean, many people call him the best player in the world. It's hard to disagree with his numbers. They're absolutely phenomenal. And it's going to be one of the biggest moves this summer. Can Liverpool keep their hands on Mo Salah? Because if you don't, I'm telling you now, you guys will not be competing for all 4 trophies next season if you don't have Mo Salah. You know what I mean? Regardless of how good Klopp is, regardless of how good the rest of your team is. So, yeah, Mane. What does Phil Foden need to do then for you to get in that team over Mane?
Needs to be a different formation.
You think so?
For a start, yeah.
Because he honestly, mate, when he plays left wing for us, he scares the life out of players. And I'm telling you now, if he plays left wing against Liverpool, you'll see. You'll be wishing you put him on that left wing, mate. Because I'm telling you now, I think he's got skill, that lad.
Mane and Salah, there's always one of them there to sort of pick the other up or negate for the other when one of them is going through one of these scoring droughts, even though they're only ever perceived scoring droughts, they're not actual scoring droughts, just by their standards. And Mane has done that again for Mo Salah this season at times when Salah has struggled, which is mad to say, when he struggled, because he's still, over 20 goals in all competitions yet again this season. As you say, Mo Salah's brilliance it can't be understated at all, but Mane's sort of managed to reinvent himself on the quiet as Liverpool's number 9 through the centre, and Phil Foden is a massively talented player. I just think, you talk about the experience before, you talk about big moments, and
you're a good listener, aren't you? You're a good listener.
There's 2 players who give you both experience and big moments on big stages.
Oh, you know what? I'm a fan of Mane. I think he's a quality player. I'm happy to give you that. So we'll go for the team then. So we can't decide on the goalkeeper, innit? So we're not.
So I'm Alisson, you're Edison.
Yeah, we've got Trent, Diaz, Van Dijk, Cancelo. We got Fabinho. We got Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan, Salah. Bernardo playing false 9, Mane on the left. Is that what we're doing? They can have a few.
Easy.
There we go. I'll accept that. Well played.